Oh, I was about to say there's darkness.
Welcome.
Oh my God! Woo!
No,
What's up?
just before we go on, Jason goes poof. It just gets so every now and then, Jason goes amok, all on his own. So we're gonna keep this really fast. Hi, Jason. Who are you and where are you from? Yeah.
Welcome and thank you for coming.
All right, good to have you on. All right, and next week we have actually this is bonus week, and Sean.
This is my week.
Take over.
What is up, everybody? Yeah, welcome to the original running of A.M.O.K. That's us. My guest tonight is Jason Walker. Those of you that don't know who he is are about to find out who he is, because I found out a lot of interesting things about this dude.
It said that like a question. Jason Walker?
Oh, no.
Like you wasn't sure.
Was it,
I'm absolutely sure.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, Jason, even though you took a chance and you're here.
Hopefully you won't regret it.
It did pop out.
What I do have a lot of questions for you. Your Rosie page was supposed to be on here. You are the founder of Night Terror Collective, and you're also a part of something else, but I'll ask that in a little bit. Tell us a little bit about Night Terror Collective and how you came to find it.
Yeah, for sure. We are a paranormal team out of Fort Smith, Arkansas area. We're right on the border of Arkansas and Oklahoma.
Fort Smith?
Yeah, like you said.
Nobody comes from Fort Smith.
Says the guy from Fort Smith.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So we live. Rosie Page. She lives in Muldrow, Oklahoma. So it's right outside Fort Smith. I reside in Spiro, Oklahoma. But we say we're out of the Fort Smith, Arkansas area because it's the largest city, obviously, around us. So most people recognize that area. So, I founded the Night Terror Collective back in 2018, and we've been lucky enough to investigate some of the most haunted places around the country. So we go all over. We do all kinds of things paranormal, as far as ghosts, cryptids, UFOs, that kind of stuff. So it keeps us busy. Now, as far as like Night Terror Collective, why it's called that and not like paranormal something, specter, ghost, this or whatever, is because I didn't want to be labeled as one subject. So it's a Night Terror Collective is a collective of everything, because I feel it's like everything in the paranormal umbrella. So you're looking at Bigfoot and UFOs and that kind of thing. It all falls under the same kind of title as anything paranormal to me. So.
Interesting. So, how did you come about being in the paranormal? I mean, are you woo woo or?
Are you woo woo? That's my term for sensitive people. So
sorry, you got me saying it.
Like I cry at movies. Like, are you gifted?
Are you gifted?
No, not anything like that at all. I just had some experiences as a kid, so that always fascinated me, and you go from that to anything in the horror genre and paranormal field is in movies and that kind of stuff. So it all built up to when I was actually old enough to kind of develop my own opinions and kind of want to explore those things. Why are these things happening? Why are there ghosts? Why are people saying they see these things? And kind of explore that realm. And one of the biggest things that I like personally is helping people with their whatever they're dealing with, as far as like people thinking, a lot of people think dealing with this kind of stuff's crazy, obviously, but most of the time people just like to like you just sit and listen to them, and not judge them. And so trying to help people with their own experiences and better understand that is pretty important to me. And doing the big mainstream investigations and stuff too is obviously it's cool, but I love all of it.
Right? It is so. I love doing this. It's interesting. It's fun. It's Especially when you get that one, educational, especially when you get that one golden ticket and you're like,
Mhm.
it's amazing to share. I
Sure.
understand
Well,
where you're coming from.
hopefully Rosie jumps on here soon. But she's a gifted medium, so she's that
Nice.
kind of thing for sensitive and that kind of stuff. I get
Oh,
yeah, so I don't get the really emotional part of it, the draining and all that kind of stuff. The paranormal hangover, I mean, that's real. I mean, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep.
experience it as much as she does, obviously, because she gets spiritually attacked when we're at a location. It drains her. But I get definitely more of the physical stuff. I get more of the scratches and the clothes pulling and things thrown at me, that kind of stuff. So, huh.
So
oh my.
you go into some pretty tough
Wow.
tough cases. It sounds like.
Yeah, we've been in some different interesting situations for sure. Some locations where the for whatever reason the spirit seemed to attract herself to me and do it, just like I don't know what it is as far as physical stuff, but when we're at a location, Rosie's able to pick up something, with her ability, and then I'm able to back it up like on our gear or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what's really cool. So
That is
Do you
extremely
think
cool.
they're intimidated by you? Are you? That's one question, but the other question is: are you going into reportedly bad situations or tough situations?
yeah, probably both, because we
Okay.
do go in the locations that have known physical things happen there, and reported demonic activity and that kind of stuff. But that's the question we get asked about every time we're doing something like this or interviews for magazines or whatever. But it's how many demons have you run across and that kind of thing. And I have to explain to them the difference between what we do and what you guys do, and then
Yeah.
a lot of that's purely entertainment purposes, and they're thinking that we're getting
Yep.
possessed every time we go somewhere. That's just
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times demonic things are just the spirits are pissed off about something.
Yeah.
no. That's absolutely true. It's something that when we're doing our lectures and stuff at the different cons and whatnot. That's something I do mention too. Is if you're an asshole in life, you're an asshole in death. You're not going to change your personality.
Correct.
You got to know you're dealing with people, and you got to go into it with that. Is there demonic stuff? Sure, but at the same time, to me, in my opinion, that's very, very rare that you run anything like that. I mean, it's just that the mainstream
I'd agree
stuff
with
is
that.
seeming like you're getting, all these things happen to you all the time. But for the most part, what I like to say, and it's true, and you guys, if you've done this long enough, you're just sitting in the room talking to yourself in the dark, most of the time. But
Yeah.
because the thing about it is, when things happen or don't happen, it's all in their time. You can't make them do the song and dance. They're
Right.
for the most part, really at the end of the day, they either want to communicate with you or they don't want you there at all and bother them. They don't want to.
Yep.
They don't really ask a million times every weekend, how'd you die and what this and that. I wouldn't want somebody coming to my house asking me those questions every day.
No,
For
that would be
sure.
a
Yeah, you might scratch them too, right?
scratch,
Yeah.
bite, boo at them. I mean,
Always a
who
question.
knows?
Somebody wants, you're always asking somebody to make a knocking sound or can you make something move or something like that. But as long as you go into it respectfully and understand that these are people, just like you're having a conversation like we're having now. It's the same thing. Which we find, like, we're just sitting around in the dark room sometimes having an actual conversation about just whatever. It doesn't even really matter, but that's what we find when we get the most activity, really.
Yep.
Uh, things start happening, and then they're starting to kind of loosen up around us and understand our personality too, and that we're not there just with them or be an asshole to them too.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Exactly. So-
You mentioned that you use a lot of different types of equipment. What is your favorite type?
It's interesting because we're lucky enough that we have all the kind of the fancy stuff you see the guys on TV use and everything. So we've been fortunate in that kind of thing. But sometimes, for the most part, I really like to kind of keep it simple. I like to use my phone because I can utilize that for just about anything I can do with some of our major things we use. But you can use that just as easy, and it's simple. You got a flashlight, you got a mic, that kind of deal. So just going to somewhere with your phone, going with a flashlight, and maybe even just push it on down to using dowsing rods.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So you get great communication for that. Because if you think about it this way, if you go to especially an old historical place, where you're dealing with possibly spirits that you're talking about died in the 1800s, early 1900s, and you're looking at these pieces of equipment, and you're asking them to do these things. They're like, what the hell is this? I don't
Yeah.
understand what you're. You want me looking at a screen? What's a screen? I don't know.
Good point.
Good point.
Yeah, I always tell them it's look for talk into where the colors are. If you see a blinking
Yeah.
light, you go really totally simple because you don't know what year they are.
And that
No,
does.
you don't.
That gets a lot of stuff on the what you're saying there. Activity with the K2 or doing like just a simple flashlight, test, and then have them turn the flashlight off and on. That kind of thing. Just something simple for them to do that you can also communicate with no question.
That's why I use this recorder, because I'm thinking it looks more like an old school microphone. So if you're talking to somebody from
Oh.
an older era, now nobody from the Civil War would know what a microphone is, but still, if you get somebody from like 30s or 40s, 20s, even they'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's a microphone. Step on up to the microphone." So
All right.
Cool.
Yep.
Yep.
That is somebody in the YouTube chat said it must be tiring being asked to prove your existence all the time. Yeah.
yeah.
It'll be
I'd probably be like,
frustrating.
oh, that kind of reminds me of Ashmore Estates, because I was at Ashmore Estates and I had asked, I said, do you want to share your story? I mean, I know you probably do it all the time. And I heard,
No.
like, I'm being asked this again. I'm like, I'm
Really?
Yeah,
sorry. You don't have to.
I tell you what, I got some really good Class A EVPs and stuff, but it's for there's things like that as far as like that's why everybody gets the classic like get out, leave, that kind of thing. And it's
Yeah.
not
You're
necessarily
bugging them. Yeah.
because they're trying to scare you, like they're really meaning you, like, hey, dude, leave. I'm tired of answering the same question.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You got people like us that we go into these locations like Waverly Hills or something we've been to, and then you get these groups over and over and over and over every weekend, and like, oh man, here comes these assholes again, want me to ask, knock on the wall.
All right.
Did you go to Waverly Hills?
Yeah.
What'd you think of the place?
It's we had some really cool experiences there. I physically saw what they call the creeper. I saw that.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting. But he just appeared to me. He was like a 6'7", something like that. Just a pure like shadow, darker than dark, kind of a thing. And then I thought the most interesting place to me was what they call the body chute. We got some interesting stuff down there.
See,
and then,
I experienced nothing while I was there.
Yeah, but you were with a whole bunch of group of different people. Jason, were you with a bunch of different people, or?
Do you think I hung around with people?
Yeah, well, the thing about that building is it's large enough. It really kind of doesn't matter how much people's with you.
Yeah.
Unless you're focusing in the same area, you're not necessarily going to contaminate evidence. But we did an
I
experiment
saw more
there
things at our hospital than that hospital, but
Yeah.
we did with different pieces of equipment going all the way up and down the body chute. So all the way from the bottom all the way to the top, and watch different things progress as something got closer to where we were. So that was pretty cool.
going down is okay. It's a coming up that sucks.
Yeah, I was sitting in the top with a friend, and that gate that's right there that they close it.
Yep.
That actually, we were there. We were the true investigators, because the tourist will leave usually about midnight, 1 o'clock, because they're so tired. And we're sitting there, two of us were sitting there. There's like 5 people in the entire building, and the gate slammed shut on us.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
But it never closed.
Wow.
Just the
That was pretty
sound.
cool.
Katie
Just the
Trail
sound.
Paranormal, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, I
so
wanted to
you,
throw that in there.
but you had some good experiences there at Waverly. I mean, I have too. I've been there twice, and it's a fun place.
Yeah.
You
No,
say
it's-
I've never been.
Neither have I.
Yeah. It's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
Oh, the building
Well-
itself is fantastic. I would go back in a heartbeat, but I'm not expecting any more than I saw the first time, which I didn't really see much. Yeah, but I don't know. I just think all the big ticket places, I've not experienced as much as I've experienced in just in this area. And you're from this area, Jason, so you can shine a light on some of those. Like I saw that you get. So did you do stuff in Spyro?
yeah, just in around the local area for sure. We do some stuff. I grew
Yeah.
up in South, so that's most people around eastern Oklahoma kind of know where it's at. It's a bigger town,
Uh-huh.
But you focus around all the kind of Indian stuff around this area. Obviously, growing up, and there's local legends. Like I wrote my book about the gates of hell.
I was going to ask you
kind of
about
kind of
that.
local people know about it. So try to push that out there a little bit. But
Now, that was based on something that happened to you in 2003?
yes, I mean it started. That location actually started when I was young. I don't know. I was probably about 12-ish, somewhere around there. But I went out there with my mom and her friend, and then experienced some things out there that's in the book that I wrote down. But things from there to when I experienced it as an older, high school person, in typical, let's go out there because it's supposed to be scary kind of thing, but we went out there. It was actually around Halloween, October '03, and then experienced some crazy stuff during that time. And then, it's just always been there with me. So I've always wanted to turn it into a book. And for the last 4 years, I've been working on it. Finally, it's out.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, if
It's
you're
called The
seeing,
Gates of Hell, or
Yeah. I don't know if I actually have a cover about if you can see it.
do the shameless plug. That's why you're on here.
Absolutely.
Shameless plug. That's exactly why you're here. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's,
The Gates of Hell and the Demons that Protect it.
yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
Oh.
It's based on a true story. So yeah, it's pretty intense.
Cool.
I wrote it. I don't want to count my chickens, but the way I wrote the book was I wrote it in 3 parts. It's actually just got only 3 chapters in it, but I did it that way on purpose so that it could be adapted into a 3-part horror movie. So,
Mhm.
it's kinda-
Ooh.
that's
Well,
cool.
see, I know somebody that's an actor.
Yeah.
His name is Santi.
Yeah.
But I
You know,
could probably
people-
connect you two and get something going. But what I wanted to ask you is, like, going back into the paranormal side. Well, that is paranormal side. But what have you encountered at a location that surprised you with this activity?
Well, there's a couple places that were that kind of that really lived up to the reputation that I was at. There's one called the Asylum in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that before.
I have. I heard that they
Yeah.
tore it down.
Yeah, I know that the last owner, the recent owner, like sold it to the city, and they were going to turn it actually into housing or something for nursing or whatever.
Oh.
But
Hmm.
I had a really big piece of glass thrown at me, hit me in the shoulder, and then
Oh wow.
Wow.
that's pretty cool. And it hit me pretty hard. It was pitch black glass hit me in the face, but um, it hit me pretty hard. And then a lot of people would be scared and running out of there when things like that happen. And those kind of things really excite me. So I wanted to do it again, and it didn't happen again. We had,
Aw.
we had other experiences through the night at that place. So yeah, to me, it was legitimately haunted, and it had, the spirit there. I remember there was multiple spirits there, but that particular one had a lot of energy. So, I really kind of want to interact with it more. They were telling me that they, for whatever reason, it seemed like it didn't like males to be in that area. So, so I purposely stayed in that area. So, unfortunately, like nothing else happened to me there. There's a ladder going through the air and stuff like that, but not. I don't think about the same spirit. It was a different area and location. Have you guys ever heard of the Haunted Hill House in Mineral Wells, Texas? Have you been there?
Hmm.
I
Oh, yeah.
have. We know someone that.
Martha.
Martha
Yep.
Decker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Martha too. She's cool. But
Yes.
yeah, I've been there. I did an event with Natalie Jones and some of the guys from Ghost Hunters there, from A&E's Ghost Hunters, and so that night we were there. We really had some activity from what they call Toby, which is the resident demon there. I guess they say there was somebody that got bit, uh, and then when that happened, we were able to see it in time to actually see the bite marks form. So that was really cool.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
And Martha said she got bit there too.
Yeah, it happens frequently. I understand. So,
Yeah.
But it's cool too. I wish I got it a little more prepared. But I have pictures of this little creature. I don't even know what it is, but I caught him out in the woods right beside the house, and there's all kinds of activity that happens on that land. So I was just out there snapping pictures, and then I captured it. To me, honestly, it looks like a little alien. So it's interesting for sure. But that place, and you go to the bigger locations. Like I said, you mentioned Waverly Hills and that kind of thing. It's just as cool being there. Even if something doesn't happen, you don't have an experience, but just being in the building, because the building's really cool. Um,
It
and
looks cool.
that was neat. If you ever get a chance to go, you should check that out for sure. But,
Oh, we want to. We want to go bad.
Eventually, we'll make it there someday.
Have you ever been to the
And then-
McIntyre?
no, I have not.
Need to go there.
I've heard things about it, and surely I'm interested. I was going
Yeah.
to mention though, down there in Mineral Wells, not so far outside that, is Goatman's Bridge. That's become pretty popular. So
Yes.
we were there and did an investigation. But when you see it on the shows, it makes it seem like it's out in the woods, like way out nowhere. It's right off this road, like where all this traffic was. So I don't, what it was.
They just make it seem like it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And like when Ghost Adventures was there, they had it. They were doing their stuff, but what they didn't tell you, they had that stuff blocked off for like 3 or 4 blocks away. So, making it look like all
Oh.
in the woods. But I was disappointed in that where the location was, but it was cool being out on the bridge and everything. That was neat. But I didn't really experience anything. It was cool being there.
But you didn't experience anything. I'm not like you didn't start getting choked by a demon or anything. I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that. But
no, it's absolutely true. I say that there's no difference between the guys that are on TV, which I know a lot of those guys personally, than us that doesn't have a TV deal. We're doing the exact same thing. We're doing the exact same stuff with equipment and the techniques and that kind of stuff. One of our favorite things to do is the SS method. We love doing that, especially with Rosie's abilities. But it's just that I gotta tell these people when we're doing our talks is that we're not at a location for 2-3 weeks at a time and dumbing all that down, editing it and then making it look like all these things are happening. And that's what they do. And then it's really cool they have the opportunity to be at a location that long, but we're there, not maybe 2, something like that. So, for the most part, we're not getting all that stuff. And I'm not saying all that stuff doesn't happen. Sometimes it does, but one thing for sure is we're not getting possessed every time we're at a location. So.
Oh, what a bummer!
Darn, that doesn't really happen in real life.
Oh my gosh, you're not doing something right, man. Hey,
about
hey,
it.
you didn't
besides
get
that,
possessed on the show we were on, so that was at least that.
so besides the little tiny alien, I'm sorry, besides the little tiny alien that you found or saw, have you what about in that realm? UFOs and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what's cool is I don't know if any of you've ever seen a UFO, maybe, but
I've seen
obviously,
2 or 3 now.
3.
Uh-huh.
I have not.
I've been lucky enough to right outside of South Oklahoma. There, I did 2 UFOs. They were kind of almost like they were. To me, they were acting like children in a way. They were like just above the tree line. Looked like they were just kind of playing tag with each other. They, these wasn't the full like craft or anything like that you could see, but there were balls of light. So there's 2 balls of light, and they just go and hit each other and do little things again. And it looked like they were just having a good time playing.
What
Um,
color was the
like
light?
like a yellowish white. That
Yeah.
kind of, but they wasn't big. It wasn't big at all. I mean, I'm talking. You can see them. They're maybe like that big around. I mean,
Yeah.
but very small. But they were completely aware that I was there. I mean, they didn't care at all. And I'm just sitting there and just watching them at a place called Cherokee Landing outside of Tulsa. And of course, you get that kind of Native American kind of thing. But and then growing up around Oklahoma for sure, like the southern part of Oklahoma, Tallahena, and all that kind of thing. That you got all these Bigfoot stuff happening.
Yeah.
Stillwell, Oklahoma. We got an active investigation for Bigfoot out there. But Bigfoot is commonly associated with UFOs. Sometimes people think they
Hmm.
work together. And that
I
is a good
do.
I think Bigfoot could be for sure. I think, but I think he has the ability to. I mean, I'm sure you guys. I'm referencing the '80s. You've seen Predator. Um, how Predator is able to camouflage himself and you can't see him.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing for that as Bigfoot in a way. That's
Did I
why
not mention that? Did I not
uh,
mention that in one episode?
to me it makes sense.
Actually,
He's like how he can be there 1 second and the next not. I don't
Yeah.
think he goes. I just think he's good at just being still and camouflage.
well, look at
So
octopi. Octopi can camouflage themselves very easily in the
yeah,
water. Why can't there? And chameleons can do the same thing. So why couldn't a Bigfoot?
right. And I
He's
think
got
it's
fur, not skin.
yeah, I
I don't
think
know.
Maybe. I guess nobody's actually really seen him, so it could
I'm,
be covered
true.
with
not
anything.
here. I'm not here either.
well, there was a couple things, because Oklahoma did a thing a year or so ago where they, they legalized Bigfoot hunting. They made the Bigfoot license available.
Oh
And
yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
gosh.
funny.
Obviously, I mean, that was a money grab. But nobody's really, going out there and hunting Bigfoot. I mean, because if you think about that, if you did, and whatever weapon you might have, an AR, shotgun, whatever you think is going to do something, and you're going out there and you're hearing these reports of these things that are, over 8 feet tall, 12, 13 feet tall, and how much they weigh and stuff. You shoot one of those things, what do you think's going to happen? I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not
you better have a
You better
30
hope you're
stick.
alone.
Get mad.
Well,
Yeah, you better
hopefully
hope
it
they're
won't be
alone.
aggressive because I'm not planning on being
Exactly.
aggressive to him. I
Yeah,
just
no
want to say
kidding.
hi.
Better know how to play.
Hi.
Better know how to play dead, man.
That's,
Yeah,
No
that's
kidding.
another thing too. If you go hunting them, the thing about Bigfoot in my experiences, those guys already know you're there before you have
Oh yeah.
getting close. They know you're
They
there.
couldn't
Like,
survive, in the
This
woods if they
long.
didn't know, because
yeah,
we
they
crashed through like,
right. I mean, they know it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter how stealthy you are or whatever. They know you're
no,
there. And
and
if
we
they
all
want,
use shampoo and all these different
yeah.
things that have smells, and they're gonna know you're there probably within 10 miles of them.
Yeah.
if you see one, it's all because they want you to.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
and I think that's
They're probably
whether they're
just as curious as you are.
right to a point, and I think that if they're crossing the road or doing whatever, and you see them, I think that's their way of saying you need to back off. So,
Mhm.
you're coming too close to where my family's at or whatever, But I think about it that way, like you know, you got the differences in uh, encounters as far as them throwing rocks or making knock sounds or that kind of stuff. Um, you know, when you're going in camp, you're camping and you're looking for them and that kind of stuff, and they know you're there, and they're going to do whatever. If they wanted you gone, and if they mean you harm, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. If something like that coming at
Yeah.
you, you're
Yeah.
stuck. So, but and there's been encounters where people have, you know, come face to face with them and been physical. But recently, I don't know if you've seen this in the last couple of weeks or so, but somebody posted a video. They found a Bigfoot in Oklahoma somewhere, and he's like just kind of hanging out by this tree.
Oh, that
And
was
then,
totally fake, wasn't
Yeah.
yeah,
I've not seen it.
It's
Oh, that's
bad.
true.
people kept sending
And
me the video. I'm like,
of course, he runs, and you see the camera
Oh, they
flying all
sent
about.
you the videos?
yeah, I've gotten people a lot of people send me the video. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? And I'm like, man, that's not even worth looking at because it's not
No.
real.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason nobody's got a clear picture of a Bigfoot or film since the Patterson film, you know, when that happened. You know, but again, what was that Bigfoot doing? It was going away. I mean,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
getting away from him.
it was
Well,
letting
like
you
that
know
one
that
video. Was it Scott that had the video where it's like
across the
they're on a
river?
boat and he's on like an island and the Bigfoot's trying to hide behind a tree or something?
It's a dad and his kids, and they're just driving out to the river, to the Cheney River, and they pull up and he's just showing, you know, the river, and you don't notice what it is at first. It kind of looks like a tree stump, so his headlights are shining that way, and then when they don't, you know, immediately move away from it, it stands up and walks off, and they're like, the little kids like, oh, go home, go dad, go, you know, because first they're like, what's that, and then it takes off walking. They're like, yeah.
Well, there's
It's-
another one out there that they're on a boat and they have a camera on the boat. And then on the island, you see this big, hairy thing that's like trying to run away and
Was
get
on
out
an
of
island, wasn't
view.
it?
Remember that one.
It was at a fork in the river, wasn't it? Not on an
Maybe
island.
it was.
There's a fork in
But
the river.
he was going behind a tree. He was on land
Yeah.
and he was going behind a tree.
I
Yeah.
don't remember that one.
But
There's
that's
one
But
where the river split, and they're going to go to the right, and it over here on the left on the landfall. Yeah, but that's the one. That's what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah, that's the
there's
one
a
I'm
lot of
talking about.
those. Yeah,
You know, he's just
So-
looking for a private place to do his duty. Come on.
it is number 2.
but that's just it. If you ever notice these films of all these Bigfoots people are getting, the Bigfoots are always walking away. They're always going somewhere.
Right.
They're
Getting away.
never coming at the person.
Right.
You know, if they did, I mean, that'd be a totally different story. You get in your car, and something like that large can tip your car over. You know.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, if it wanted to get aggressive, it could.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, if they want you to see them, they do, and then I think that's just to scare you away from their territory. So,
Yeah.
So, have you had any experiences or encounters with any of the cryptids?
well, it's interesting because of Bigfoot's obviously, but cryptids are different in a way because um, people can classify anything as a cryptid as far as like just an unknown.
Like fairies, puckwudgies.
Yes, and there's different ones, and obviously, but like you're talking about the little Fresno Nightcrawler guys.
Yeah.
Those are interesting to me.
Look like
those kind
big pant legs walking.
yeah,
They do.
the Mothman,
Yeah.
guys.
Mothman.
You know, I've seen things in the woods around Oklahoma that would make you question, but I mean, not Bigfoot wise, but just weird. Like that's weird that's moved or something, or
Yeah.
you know, then you got to wonder if you're just the thing about it too is being an investigator is your mind playing tricks on you, seeing things, you know, because it happens a lot. Obviously, when you're sitting in the dark a lot by yourself.
Yep.
You know, if you because you know all your senses are aware. So, but then you know you're seeing every little shadow could be something. But as far as like coming in with anything else other than a Bigfoot, I haven't been able to experience anything like that. Every section of the country has their own, like we just talked about. But I think there's way more that just people's not seen yet. So you know, you look at the chupacabra. I mean, is it a cryptid? I don't really know. No, because nobody really knows exactly what it is. But,
Well, and
you
many
know,
people have different names for it. Like Indian tribes had different names for Bigfoot and Pukwudgies and fairies, but there's a lot of them, especially the shaman, that'll sit there and tell you, well, don't mess with any of them.
Just leave them alone.
now, you're not even really supposed to talk about this right here, but since we're on the subject, Oklahoma is really big about what they call the little people. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
if you're
saw it coming. I'm psychic.
and I went to a place that's in right outside of Stillwell, Oklahoma. It's called Beaver Gap Cemetery. Um,
Yeah.
and it's like a old Indian cemetery. It has the houses built above the graves and all that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Oh,
So,
cool.
but being there, what's big there is the little people. And
But known for.
right, and I left it. Anytime you go to those places, and that is the part of the folklore, you want to make sure you leave some kind of a token or something as an offering,
Tobacco
so
and
they don't,
candy.
so they don't follow you, and they will.
Right.
So, and that whole crazy thing is, I would really like, if you don't know, if you've never heard of it, to kind of just do your own research on it, because and again, I feel weird just talking about it openly, because um, just being around this area, and I know what they can do. So,
Oh
so
my.
it's
Okay.
pretty crazy.
I've never really seen or experienced anything like that. I did go to Hinsdale, New York, and I had a chance to go up the walkway to the little fairy mound and everything, but I never did. So I never left anything there. I've luckily been okay, knock on wood. But I did have a lot of paranormal experiences while I was there. So that was one place that I would love to go back to and experience, and actually go up the mound and leave some candy for the little people, because they exist from what a lot of people have been telling me, along with Pukwudgies and everything else. So I'm like, well, let's see. I'm a little skeptic. Let's find out.
But here you are talking about going to New York when you have stuff just right here.
Yeah, I didn't even know. So
How do you
I'm
not
gonna
know?
have to
How do
go
you not know
here
that?
because I wasn't researching here. I was
In
researching New York. So I went to
Oklahoma.
New York. Hey, I'm originally from LA, okay? Lower Alabama. So Oklahoma is not my original territory. But now I'm going to be doing a lot of research around here, and I might
There's
just
a
have
lot of
Jason
stuff
on my
around here.
show.
I
other
would
show.
okay. I don't know about you, Jason, but I've been around like you have been. I would put this region of the United States up against any region in
Yes.
the United States. I would put Fort
Well, I
Smith
don't know.
up
You've
against
got
any other town out there. Every
you've
place
got
I've been here.
Iowa and all those up there in the north near the Canadian
Nobody
border
wants to
that
go
has
to
a lot of
Iowa.
Indian stuff.
You know, our
Nobody
area
wants
is
to go to
really seen
Iowa.
as like a flyover area, and it's truly not. It's just there's not been a
No.
lot of reports made, and there's not been a lot
We-
of
Well,
records kept.
the funny
Well,
thing
see,
is,
that was
there
the whole
have been
idea behind the
reports.
show
People
and
don't
A.M.O.K.
want to listen, and it's
Yeah.
not getting out there like it should. That's why we're here
Mhm.
to try to get this out there. Oh, sorry, Jason.
Yeah.
We went amok on you for a minute.
No, but I agree with you, Adrian. I mean, we have a lot of stuff in this 4-state
We
region.
do.
I mean, we have all the different types of terrain.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have
Mhm.
super high mountains, so we've got the Washita and the Ozark Mountains. That's probably the biggest ones we've got, and those aren't. My kids say those are like molehills, Dad. From
The problem is paranormal TV. And paranormal TV went to do things where they can do events at. And the haunted place that's here, like I said, the most haunted place I've been in since 2006 when I started has been a little house down a dirt road in Oklahoma. And but they can't
My
do an
most
event
haunted
there.
place right now has been in Kansas.
So they're not going to do that.
Same.
Yeah.
So it's one of
No.
those things.
No. But,
Well, that's
the more we get out there and the more we spread the A.M.O.K, then the more it's going to get known and the
More we
more
spread
people are going to come by. Yeah. We got to spread the A.M.O.K. And we have
What were you saying,
people,
Jason?
wonderful people like Jason that comes on and could be like, yo, I was on this show and these people are crazy, but you got to watch it because they're trying to spread the word.
For sure.
We're trying to talk about our backyards.
He's trying.
Mm-hmm.
Jason's just trying to talk.
Shut up.
The thing about that is that some locations, unfortunately, don't want to be known for the paranormal.
Yep.
And there's a big location. It's in Arkansas. It's called the Boonville Sanitarium. And
Yeah, which is closed down to paranormal investigating now.
it is now. The thing about that is a quick story about that is that I was one of the last teams that was there.
Yeah, we were in there
we
just
were-
a few weeks before they shut it down. Yeah.
Well, I've been there
Why?
the thing about it is, this is what I was told, that whoever was there did some vandalism and they had alcohol, and that's
Yeah.
Oh my God.
that's part of like the contract you sign with them to that kind of thing. But because the reason it doesn't want to be well known as a paranormal thing is because the grounds is still active as like a mental facility. Like people still live there.
Yeah.
But the main building that you go into and investigate, only the first floor is active and has electricity. It's they have offices there, but the rest
Is
of
this
the
the
building
same?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The place that we said we can't talk about, but now it's shut down.
So now we can talk about it.
Yeah.
they want you to call it anytime you're there, like an old Southern hospital or something.
Or the old TB hospital, or
No, you're not. You weren't allowed to say TB either. You couldn't say the county it was in, the town it was in, or the fact that it's TB. It was an old Arkansas hospital.
Right, and that's true.
I know.
But,
I was one of the first teams that got in there. We've been when I started there. I think there was only 4 teams that were going. I think we were number 5, and then it got to where, yeah. Then when it went downhill when they opened it up to the world. We used to have to sponsor teams to come in, and then it got to where, well, anybody can go in there, and then it just went crazy.
yeah, we were there, and I don't know if you guys remember it was a couple nights there. You could see the Northern Lights. So that's the nights we. And
Oh wow!
Nice.
We did a ticketed event, so it was only way you could join us there was you had to buy a ticket, and then we had about 30, 35 people, something like that. We had a good crowd, and it was we had a good couple of days there. But then apparently, as we were told, it was the weekend or the weekend after that, one or the other, that was when these things happened. So unfortunately, they closed the location. So you run into that, but you also run into these locations that kind of full of themselves, that charging a lot of money for people to come in there, and they might make a TV show, and once that happens or something, it's stupid amount of money just to go investigate for a night or something. But I'm all for paying the money if the money's going for like restoring the building or whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's just going
and like the money you do for the event at the Sand went to the people, the residents of the grounds, which is when we did our events, that's great. So, but can't do that anymore.
Right, or at least not for the foreseeable future. We'll see if that changes eventually, but hopefully, you never know. But as you're talking about local locations around Fort Smith or something, yeah, there's plenty of them. There's Fort Smith History Museum, the Clayton House. There's all kinds of spots there. And then once you have a reputation like we do, we're pretty highly respected in our field, and we worked hard on that. So people reach out to us for help, and then we've gone all over the area helping people at different residential locations. And then that's one of the biggest things I really kind of like to do, is get back in that way. And then we don't charge for any of our stuff we do for anybody. We don't charge for investigations or.
That's how it should be.
And then, but we will say we take donations, and
oh yeah, well definitely.
cash for sure, but food definitely.
I say the same thing. I said we don't want donations, but our investigation. I'm sorry, payment, but we do like food.
Yes,
We
food
like-
is
we like
great.
Heck, I've
Food
been to
is
a couple
great.
of them, and they brought whole out. They made a whole meal for us. It's like, oh my gosh, this is great.
Right?
So
I don't mind the food. I don't mind the food.
Yeah.
Or even, the help to get out there, but I never asked for any. I never asked for money. Ever.
yeah, Jason, I agree with you, Jason, too, about a lot of places are starting to shut down. They don't want to put up with the nonsense anymore.
Mm-mm.
They don't. They either that or some of the government. That's difficult to get in because they don't believe
Yeah.
in what we're doing at all, even if it's history related. So I'm in. I don't know if you knew, but I'm in St. Louis area, so I'm kind of far from your corner, about 4 or 5 hours, whatever. But yeah, a lot of places they are not interested in the paranormal, or it's some kind of a clique.
Yeah,
And it's like
Yeah.
you'll never get in there. It's like, fine, do what you want.
they don't.
But
Well,
it's
I
sad
know
too
the
because a lot
Fort
of these places can earn money or gain
Yeah,
money
they
and
can.
help for the building that way.
But you also got to think, like we got the Fort Chaffee, we got that
Yeah.
opened up. We get to start doing events out there, and because it was on ghost hunters, fools trespassers went in there and burned the place down. So the people get
Yeah.
worried about that
Crazy.
kind of stuff. So
Because there's
Uh,
idiots.
because they're idiots, exactly right.
Yeah.
That's kind of exactly what happened with that. Is that when Ghost Adventures was there, when the prison was actually still standing, they were there and certified it haunted because they got an EVP in there at some point. But the guys the guys that were running that haunted prison out there now have a haunted attraction, and they still call it the haunted prison Trail of Terrors. It's in a different location, but they still use the Ghost Adventures kind of crew being there at their events to even though it's a different
I
place.
mean, but is that place haunted or?
No, it's just a spook house. The prison was haunted.
Oh,
The prison was haunted, yes, for sure. And it's funny you mentioned St. Louis. I've been up there doing some stuff too. I don't know if you guys know this. I mean, and you might not. I don't know, but that's where the real exorcists happen. I don't know if y'all knew that.
yeah.
And then we've been
Yeah.
to that house. So
I have not, but I've seen the Booth Brothers film that they filmed about it, and oh my gosh.
it's very.
You know who the Booth Brothers are?
The who?
The Booth Brothers, Christopher and Adrian
Oh.
Booth.
Philip.
Oh, Philip
No.
Adrian Booth. Why did I say Adrian?
I'm Adrian.
I
Because
know. Sorry,
You
you
see
threw
my
me
face.
off, Adrian.
you see my face and you're like,
Christopher St.
Adrian.
Booth and Philip Adrian Booth.
There you go.
So have you been to the house?
We've been to that. And actually, only been able to do limited things because people live there.
Right.
So, but when you go to that neighborhood and knowing the backstory of kind of that what happened, it's really kind of like it's kind of crazy because it's a really nice neighborhood as far as like the the older
Mhm.
houses are there. And everything. So it's not like this rundown place or something you would expect possession to take place. And then
Right.
of course a lot of people don't know that it was a boy, not a girl.
Yep.
That happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know.
It was a boy, and I think they said later on, well, y'all watch the Booth films. Y'all can find out more on that.
Exorcism took place in different places. It wasn't just at that house. They took it
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably about
Yep.
four different places in St. Louis, plus somewhere up in Washington, D.C. or Baltimore. I don't know, somewhere up that way, somewhere on the East Coast. So, yeah, that was back in 49.
Because the East Coast always was part of our action.
Always. Always. But
So-
we're the center. We're supposed to be the center of attention. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
I thought you said sinner. I'm like, no.
Different show.
Center.
Different show.
Different
Sorry.
You
show.
made a mention of the Portsmouth History Museum. Have you investigated there?
I know the lady that runs it, and we've been trying to actually conduct an investigation, and we just haven't been on the same page yet.
Caroline, we've had Caroline on this show before.
She's
Yeah.
super
Oh, really?
nice.
Yeah.
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 We've investigated there. We've investigated there a few times. Pretty cool.
Well,
I want to.
she is cool. She's been really nice to us back and forth. But of course, she's associated with the Clayton House people and stuff too. So that helped us get in there the very first time we did that. But just being on those grounds there, Judge Parker's and everything. I actually caught an apparition there, just taking pictures outside the courthouse one night.
Really?
It was again, I don't like plugging myself necessarily, but
This is what it's for. Plug it.
this
Oh,
is my
nice.
favorite.
Little ghostly ghost.
Oh, I have actually read that. It is really cute.
It has a picture of that apparition in it. Now that I'm thinking about it, so because kids like pictures, so I like to include the kind of pictures for them to check out. Not scary, but I don't know if you guys can see it too well, but.
Oh.
You're outside the main courthouse here.
Oh.
Go up a little higher.
Go up a little higher. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, I've actually seen that picture.
If you read the book,
If you read the
you
book,
picture.
Outside of reading the book. I had it on a Kindle, so.
We were down by where the gallows was, and I was just snapping pictures, and that came through pretty good.
That's cool.
Oh,
And,
wow.
Very nice.
I got a really good picture of apparition at the Keene Opera House too. So they're in Van Buren, Arkansas. If you guys ever been there, but
I'm not. Oh, we tried to get in there back before with the original owner of the place, and they were like, "We don't want to be known for being haunted." And then I guess they sold it. Now they're like, "Sure, go come on in."
absolutely
Like,
true.
great.
We tried to get in there for a long time, and then they didn't want any part of it. And then I got a really cool apparition in there, and it's neat. But I wanted to bring this up real quick. We were talking about The Exorcist. This is my a custom copy of the book.
Oh, wow. Nice. That is nice.
like leather bound.
Yeah, it's like this old leather type material. I'm not exactly sure what it is,
Yeah.
but
It's pretty cool looking.
it's pretty neat. I like the way it is. It says here in my office and kind of locked up. I have a lock and key.
You've got a lot of things that I see
That's
behind
pretty-
you, like the movie Annabelle doll, and what is on
Yeah,
top of it?
More Annabelle stuff. So, yeah, I kind of love the Conjuring universe was kind of my favorite films, the way they did stuff, and then I like that. Of course, Ed and Lorraine Warren being,
Mhm.
Yep.
a lot of people feel their own way how they feel about them, but you can also say that they're the pioneers doing it way before any of us were used on its equipment.
We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people like them.
Nope.
They were
Well, I
trailblazers.
just
They
got
started
their
it all.
son-in-law to accept my friend request, so hopefully next season we'll be able to have him on the show.
Oh, Tony? Yeah.
Yes. I've been sending him friend requests. I'll unsend it and resend it, unsend it and resend it. He finally accepted it. So I was like,
My
yay.
God, maybe she'll stop if I go ahead and
Stalker.
accept.
Hey,
Oh yeah, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Huh?
gotta do what you gotta do to get people on the show. I wouldn't be a journalist if I didn't do it. Okay. Well, that's pretty much what we are. We're journalists.
Hold on. What was that, Jason?
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, Tony's cool. Like he's a kind of a good relationship with him. So him and Judy, which is they're the one's daughter. So
Yeah.
Cool.
She's very
the other-
quiet about everything, though. He's the one that talks about it all the time.
he's the one that does a museum and all that kind of stuff. Which it's not obviously it's not accessible to the public, but he does take people there. To see
Yep.
So I haven't got to go yet. Hopefully I do get there eventually. So.
Oh, that would be so
That'd be
cool.
neat.
It would. All
I don't know if
those items.
I don't know if you've heard, but they've opened up Fort Leavenworth up in Leavenworth,
Yeah,
Kansas.
they did.
Yeah.
They
To
did.
investigations now. So that's somewhere. We just did Missouri State Pen, about a month ago now?
Yeah, I
And,
gotta go back because there's places I missed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, I want to go to Leavenworth now too.
I want to
think
go to
that'd be really
Leavenworth.
cool.
Didn't Kansas also just open their prison?
They
That's it.
did.
That's Fort
That's
Leavenworth.
the one.
Oh,
That's Fort
that
Leavenworth.
is for, okay. That's
Just
for
gotta
Yeah.
break the
Mhm.
you just got to break the right laws, and you can get in there free.
Well, that's true.
No,
Good point.
thank you.
Please, I want to go in there, but I got to bring my bag.
So
Yeah,
have you been to
you
the
know,
Missouri State Pen?
I haven't yet. That's one place that's
It's
on the list to go. I think I have to try to cover it in a couple of days if they allow us there, because like you kind of said, you miss stuff, and
yeah,
those kind of locations.
Yeah, you do.
It's a big
it's
place.
worth the trip for sure.
Any of those prisons you go to, you got to choose a thing that you can go to and focus on. Otherwise, you're not going to
Yeah.
really. Although you see the building, you won't have a chance to investigate it. So
No.
yeah, that's the way we did. That's the way we were at Ohio State Penitentiary. We was like, there's stuff going on. So if you're going to stay there where the activity's going, you're going to miss all the rest of the building, which is kind of a drag. But why are you there? To see the
Yeah, to
building
get the
interact with-
activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
And that's a,
yep.
and then I don't know how much of those kind of places are charging, but like if you look at like the Bell Witch Cave, that kind of thing, they
Mhm.
were wanting to charge us $2,000 to come in for an investigation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Wow.
They're not big on it. They're trying to discourage that stuff, and that's a. I mean, Pat Fitzhugh, he's been on the show, and he'll be at the Arkansas. Are you going to the Arkansas Expo at the end of the month?
I'm not gonna make it this year. I've been there. I've been featured there a couple of different times, but not this year.
Yeah, okay. But see,
I-
that'd be he'd been there the last few years, and he's
Yeah.
been on this show. But he does a lot with the Bell Witch Cave and all that stuff. So.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
a
One
really
more
nice guy.
question for you, Jason. Haunted Rooms America. Tell me about it.
So, have you looked at what they do at all?
There's like a tourist attraction kind of thing where they show you about I'm sure you're going to tell me I'm wrong or I'm right, but it's kind of leading people to the haunted locations.
Yeah, and what is cool is there's a guy. His name is Wesley. He lives in the UK, and they have haunted rooms UK, and it was big over there. It still is. So then he wanted to expand to the US. Well, then he really had to find teams that had a reputation. It wasn't just a bunch of goofballs trying to make some money or whatever. But
Yeah.
you really kind of know what you're doing, because you're leading a group of 30, 50 people sometimes, depending on the location. So
Mhm.
when those people, a lot of newbies that never done anything before, you're showing them kind of the ropes and kind of the feel for it and that kind of thing. So you kind of got to be knowledgeable in what you're talking about, and not just that, but the location itself too, wherever that is. And then he has the locations all over the country, and some of the big ones. But you go there and you lead the groups, and you kind of let them get their hands on equipment, and then that's, to me, that's the thing people want to do most of the time. Is first they want to experience something, and then secondly they want to hold some kind of a piece of equipment, but they don't even
Yeah.
know what it does.
Right.
No, it doesn't matter. It's got flashy lights. Cool. Hey, we got actually like 30 seconds, so we're gonna wrap this up kind of quick. Yeah, I know you're talking about. You don't like to shamelessly plug, but now's the time to do it. So if people wanted to get a hold of you, wanted to for investigation or maybe an event or anything like that. What's the way to contact Jason Walker and Clan?
Yeah, for sure. So we have a Facebook page, Not Terror Collective. You can find us on there. Shoot us a message through there. Shoot me a message on my own personal Facebook page, Jason Walker, or TikTok. That's a big one nowadays. So we're on there doing real good. So find us on there, and then if you want to find any of my books, they're on Amazon. So you can check that out.
And on Amazon, you look up just Jason Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Walker.
Okay.
The title, and then they
It's
pop
got
right
his
up.
picture, his mugshot. Oh, we lost Pam.
We lost Pam. She's like, I'm out. It's been an hour. Bye. And All right. Hey,
Thank you
hang
so
on
much
a
for
moment,
coming on, Jason. Sorry we're having to cut it off.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
an
But-
hour show.
I know.
Stick around for a few minutes, though.
Stick around for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess next week's Kansas, and she's
Oh, there she
still
is.
floating around in circles right there. Right now is the time that she says, "Who's going to be on next week, Miss Pam?"
Next week, we are going to have Jess Holman with Nightmare on Bradley here in Caney. We do it every Halloween. So Caney's big on Halloween, and we're going to talk all about it. She's a huge Tim Burton fan. So it's all Tim Burton themed. It's really, really awesome.
Excellent.
Very
Great.
cool.
So
That's
hang out with
awesome.
us next week. Until then, have a good time.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all.
Night, everybody.
Night.
Night. Oh. I
Bye,
didn't
Bill.